If you're feeling scattered, unmotivated, and like everything runs into one, then this is for you. But before we get into this, I want to introduce myself. I am Deanna Darcell. I am rediscovering my love for fashion, and I am sharing my stories working in operations management to help you reach your fullest potential. So if you're interested in getting a weekly routine, just getting back into alignment, keep watching. But before you do, please like, subscribe below. So the purpose of this YouTube is to help you get a clear vision, to help you get into alignment, to help you get organized. So we're going to go through easy, simple steps to help you to be able to reach your fullest potential, or to just help you make one simple shift in your life. So first things first, you have to have a mindset shift. That is what is key. Before we do anything, you have to have a mindset shift. So if you are coming into a situation and you are continually feeling or continually presenting negative energy, then you're going to get negative results. If all you do is complain about how you do not like your X, Y, and Z, you will continually produce those results. So it's going to take you being a little bit more optimistic. It's going to take you having faith. It's going to take you having to shift into the right mindset. So first things first is to have a mindset shift. Then we want to reconnect with our purpose. So you want to ask yourself during this mindset shift, why am I doing this? A lot of us are doing this. Let's say we're talking about work, or let's say we're talking about the gym. We're talking about losing weight, okay? Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to be able to fit into my pants. I want to feel good about myself when I walk into a room. Why am I doing this? Why am I getting organized with my current job so I could elevate out of my current job into my new job? That's a deep one. Why am I doing this? I want to elevate out of my current job into another job. So it's going to take a mindset shift. So I can't say that I continually hate my job and not think about how great my next job is going to be, not think about, just totally disregard all the other options and mindset things that we have in our life to help us be able to go to the next level. So one thing that I did want to share with you is an affirmation. I have it written down. There's so many affirmations out here. So find one that works for you. But at the top of the week, I say, I operate in alignment with my highest self this week. I operate in alignment with my highest self this week. So that means I am doing the right things. I am headed in the right direction. I am doing things intentionally so that I can have a great week. The third thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a brain dump and figure out our priorities. So what is a brain dump? It's where you just literally, for me, I sit and think about, and I like to write them down, everything that I have that's important to me, that I want to try to knock out, or things that mean a lot to me that I'm constantly thinking about. I just need to take 10 to 15 minutes to really brain dump. So I particularly want to try to elevate out of my current management job, okay? And I've been in management for years, okay? 25 years I've been in the service industry, and within management, I've been doing management for about 10 years. So, and this is in restaurants and lounges. So I do operations management across the board right now for about 6 establishments. And it is not the environment for me. Let's be clear. It's not the environment for me. And so when I'm brain dumping and I want to elevate to the next level of sharing my story so that I can help other people, so that I can get out of this and live a less toxic life, I am writing everything down. So what's going to be my next step? And I have so many thoughts and so many steps of things that I want to do, and I want to do this, I want to do that. I got to create content. I have to do my YouTube channel. How am I going to do my YouTube channel? How am I going to stay consistent? Dump for 15 minutes. Then look on that list. Look on that list and identify 3 priorities. And we're not talking about tasks, we're talking about areas, 3 areas. So my area might be content, because I want to get more content out, planning that. YouTube, I want to do more YouTube. And my last thing would be my area of organization. Really, I have another one. Let's take the organization out and say weight loss, because that is something that's really important to me. Losing about 15 pounds. Those are the top 3 priorities for me. Those are where I want to try to get more consistent. I do need to be more organized. I do think that I am pretty organized, but I feel like I could always do better. So that's why I'm not going to put that one on my brain dump list. I'm going to say I definitely can do better with not drinking tequila, not drinking wine. I could get in the gym more, work myself harder in the gym. I could get more organized with my content, produce more content, produce more YouTube. So those are the top 3 areas. And then within those areas, you might find that some people, they might all be professional. Some people, they might all be in the professional realm. Some might be in the personal realm. If you could try to pick one from each realm, that would be perfect. After you brain dump, if you need help figuring out your brain dump, I have 3 downloadable PDFs to help you figure out or help you, guide you with the brain dump process or with you getting your week organized. They're easy PDFs that you could print out just to help you get more organized and to get on your way. After you brain dump and prioritize, you want to time block. It is crucial that you time block for things that are priorities for you. So for example, I want to elevate out of my current job, okay? So in my brain dumping, one of my important things was getting more content done. Am I going to just try to wing it? Or am I actually gonna take the time out, block the time out so that I could execute getting my content done? I'm going to batch create content. Whatever it's going to take for you to be able to get closer to your goal. And the time, let's be flexible. For some people, you may not have 5 hours a day. Some people, you might have 6 hours a day. Some people might have 1 hour a day. Some people might have 30 minutes. I was watching a show on YouTube and they were talking about how if you want to try to have some type of shift, at least give it 15 minutes. And that hit home so much because I said to myself, Deanna, you're not even dedicating 15 minutes a day. You're not even dedicating 15 minutes a day to get closer and elevate out of your passion. So it is time to do a shift. It's time to really put the time and effort forward for you to do it. Now, how you choose to do it, figure out what works best for you. But the most important thing is to be flexible. So, yes, we want to be able to prioritize. Yes, we want to be able to elevate. Yes, we want to be able to put time aside. But every day is not gonna, everything's not gonna be perfect. It's not always gonna turn out that way. You're not always gonna be able to do what you wanted to do or what you had planned because life be lifing. Life be lifing. So let's be realistic and let's make sure we're pretty flexible with our time. So up next is an environment reset. You have to reset your environment. So what does that look like? Physically, in my office, I'm going to try to get more tidy. I'm going to try to, all my paperwork that I write down, content and all that, I'm going to organize that. I'm going to make sure my desk area where I'm doing my editing is good. I'm going to make sure that my surrounding areas around me are tidy. And I can attest to this because I used to have an office that was a hot mess. Let me be clear. Hot mess, boxes everywhere. And I said, you know what, Deanna, how can you produce better material in all this clutter? So I began to try, and I'm not perfect. I want to say this 1,000 times, I'm not perfect. I begin to prioritize making sure that that day, once I wrap up, I want to try to tidy something up within my office or make it look somewhat decent before I even start. Either or, but I want to make a conscious effort to tidy it up. And tidying it up just doesn't mean in your office. It can mean your office could be clean, but your kitchen could be a disaster. Or your kitchen could be great, but your bathroom could be a disaster. So we just want to tidy up our environment, things around us. And that doesn't mean that your floorboards have to be clean. Let's be clear. It just means that you are creating a more organized environment. So we want to organize our environment, then we want to organize digitally. So everything is on the internet. How am I going to stay organized with that? For me, for example, for my content and things that I want, after I brain dump, they go into a Word document. Some people may not have time for that. So whatever works best for you or whatever form of organization you can find that works. And it might take you going through several different organizers to figure out what is going to elevate and help you. But again, for me, I have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I have all that prioritized in a Word document. I have everything for the week that I'm going to talk about, or everything that I want to do, everything that I want to plan. All that is in one singular document that gets printed out. I'm a paper on purpose girly. So yes, I could go onto my documents on my phone and look at it, but I just love a piece of paper. I'm an old clipboard, old school girly that uses a pencil. So listen, that's what works for me. And figure out how you could stay organized digitally is key. And once your schedule starts to get busy, or once you do have a schedule, I highly recommend a calendar. And I'm an aesthetic girl too. So I have, of course, a really dope calendar on my phone, a digital one. Yes, it's paid. You don't have to use that. You use the Apple calendar that's in your phone, whatever calendar that's free in your phone. I personally have Planbella, which is extremely cute and looks nice because I like it. And I tend to go to that more, and I tend to use that more. It integrates with my actual Apple calendar, so it's the same thing. But getting organized digitally is also important too. And last but not least, figure out something that you can put in your space that inspires you. I put some Lego flowers in my area, in my office. I also have flowers throughout my house. So what is something that you can just look at and say, you know what, this is nice. It could be a teddy bear. It could be a beautiful rock, something that you can look at and just smile from it. Some people like crystals. Some people like, my sister has a 3D printer at her job, and she made this little dog for me that sits on my desk, and it makes me smile every time I look at it because it means a lot to me. The Lego flowers, those mean a lot to me because my father and I built them together. So something that's in your space that warms your heart, for lack of better words, is what I would highly recommend. But that is part of the environment reset. So the last part of this is energy and intention. So I want you to commit to one thing that is going to help you reach your potential. Really, really commit to one thing that's going to align with who you are and the person you want to be. So, for example, I'm of course, I'm committing to more than I could probably put on my plate. Let me keep it real. But I'm committing to working out X amount of times a week. That's number one. Number two, I am making sure that I set the time aside to film my content. I'm committing to that. That is it. And then the other thing that I'm committing to is saying no at my job. So because my job lacks so many boundaries, because nobody at my job is really understanding of what boundaries is, understanding that if I don't say no, then it's going to interfere with the things that I have planned. So I have, like today, I had to do content. My job called me. It was a communication error within upper management. It wasn't with me. Let me be clear. It was a communication with upper management with a task that needed to be done. And he failed to communicate. The old me would have come to the rescue because Deanna thinks she's got to help and do everything and fix the situation. I would put aside everything else that I have going on and I would make that a priority. Today I said no. Today I said, you know what? I cannot take lead on this. You guys will have to figure this out on your own. And creating that boundary, I was so proud of myself because I knew I had content to do today. I knew that I had things to do today. I knew that I want to get closer and closer to my goals. And it was going to require me to create the boundary and say, I can't do it. It's not an emergency. It's not an emergency. And me continually having to tell myself, they will be okay. They will be okay, Deanna. Let it go. They could handle it. That is something that I must admit is very hard for me to do, but I'm so proud of the little steps that I've been taking to be able to create the boundaries so that I can get closer to where I need to get to. So the last important thing is to really be intentional. If you have another affirmation, make sure you say it. But you have to actually be intentional. You have to see yourself executing your goals. I see myself going to the gym 4 to 5 times this week. I see me knocking out all my content on this particular day. I like to batch my content, so let me be clear. I'd like to get it done between Thursday and Sunday. I give myself that time. Thursday is organization day. Friday is shooting if I get time. Saturday's definitely shooting. Sunday is editing. So for me, I really want to be intentional with it. So I'm going to say, I see me executing all my content. I see me saying no, creating boundaries with my job. I see me going to the gym and feeling that feeling of feeling great, that feeling of feeling really good about it. I see that. And that is something that you have to be extremely intentional about if you want to try to change your weekly routine. In closing, let's recap. Get your mind right. Dump the noise, plan with a purpose, clean your space, and fuel your energy. I want you to say to yourself, this week, I lead with clarity and confidence. This week, I lead with clarity and confidence. This week, I lead with clarity and confidence. So before we leave, I want you to drop a comment below. Let me know what your intentions are for this week. What do you plan on doing this week? Or share your affirmation. But the most important thing I want you to do is subscribe. Hit the like button. That's all it takes. Either subscribe, hit the like button, whatever you want to do. Share this. I really hope that this weekly routine reset can really help you reach your fullest potential. I'm Deanna Darcell on all platforms. I cannot wait to share more stuff with you. Have a fabulous week.